Hello, Blockey Sports Network. Welcome back to another game day on this beautiful Sunday evening here on Blockey Sports Network. I am Golden Hunter or Frumpy Bear, joined by my good pal AllahFresco. It's me and Al versus the world tonight, but we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. Al, going into this game, CGY acquiring Tindor from the free agency market and
hmm
almost spelling the end for Zulus as the second line winger or defenseman or whatever position Tindor is going to fill in for. This
hmm
new look CGY second line, you have faith in them going up against Minnesota tonight?
I mean, it is an easier matchup for them. Arax and Only Burb have not been too great on the year. They have generated most of the points from this Minnesota team, but they haven't. They're definitely not one of the stronger second lines in the league. So it should be a good warm-up matchup for this Calgary team. But I'm really looking forward to the first line matchup, honestly. I don't know about you.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. And for Minnesota, 60-04 in the lineup tonight. So they're a little short-handed as well. I still believe they have only Burby that they do.
Yep,
So
yep, yep.
I believe 60 and Ekji or Gus the Cow will be starting tonight
That's a
for the Grey
tragedy.
Ducks. So it'll be interesting to see because the CGY team full strength outside of outs yeah, no, they are full strength, excuse me. We got about a minute left here going for this goalie matchup. It looks like it will be Nix's 12 in net for the Grey Ducks, so he makes his season debut in the BHL versus Orange Panda, who's been almost the consensus #1 this entire season.
hmm
For this goalie matchup for Minnesota, what does Nix's 12 need to do to kind of propel his team into an opportunity to win going up against such a strong goalie?
Yeah, he's just gotta make the saves to bail out his team. I mean, he's got a big role to fill. Spooky Mount has been a great goaltender all season for these Grey Ducks, but you know, that's gonna be a big role for him to step in. But I believe he's having a pretty good stage in the NAMHL, which is our like B tier league. So I believe he will be able to step up to the task. Maybe not as good as Spooky Mount or Orange Panda, but he'll do his job.
Yeah, definitely some big shoes to fill. Spooky Mount has been very vital to this Minnesota team. And I'll fit in last second here. Tango, first season back at Skater. How's he been doing? He was named an All-Star sub, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he's not scoring, but he did like dominate Packers in the Orlando first line in their last game. But he's going up against Whitepeck, so it should be a fun matchup between those two.
And we'll fit in last second here. Do you have a score prediction?
I think Calgary's going to take this one 4-1.
And I will not abstain because I am the referee, but we'll get started here. Wapex on the opening dot with Arex, so that Minnesota second line gets promoted up to the first line with the absence of Lampier as a defender. So it'll be only Burb, Arex, and XG. I'm gonna call him Gus because it's just a little bit easier to pronounce. Wapex has it. He tries to fire it inside to his counterpart, Jalen Pitre. He's been his winger for the last 2 or 3 seasons. A lot of chemistry between the two. And another pass over to Jalen Pitre. Jalen Pitre looks for a shot and a good glove by Nix's 12. I don't believe that shot was going in, but looking a little bit sharp out there. The former Calder winner, I believe. He won a Calder as a goalie back in S20
Oh, oh.
or S19. But it's Jalen Pitre getting active in front of the net against Only Burb, looking for an opportunity. But now Only Burb clears out to nobody, and Quake TFA, fresh on the ice, will take over. Quake has it. He looks to center it for Tindor, who lines up at the winger spot on the second line. Tindor in S23 or 22 was one of the better slot players, lining with Youppi in his season in Calgary when they made a run to the Cup. Played defender last season for the runner-up Orlando Storm. Wasn't on a team to start the new campaign, but got signed yesterday and immediately pots one off a great pass from Siffin, and Calgary takes the lead. And Siffin, one of the players with the least amount of passes per touch in the league, Slots one there for Tindor, who connects. And the Wings go up 1-0. And Calgary out to a quick 1-0 lead. Tango will win that face-off back. He looks to enter the zone, but a nice shifty pullback gets him an open shot from the blue line, but nothing doing there. As now Bug looks for a shot. Bug off the rebound opportunity, but another good save by Orange Panda. Now Quake has it in the corner. He gets pushed by Tango, who dumps it over to Bug. Bug may be looking to slot it, but he's not able to get that pass off, and now an errant clear from Quake TFA goes right to the stick of Tango, who fights with Siffin. Tango and Siffin battling in the corner. Siffin gets the step on him for the moment, but Tango doing a good job of forechecking. Now Wapex onto the ice. He takes over, as Siffin will go on for a line change. Wapex now has it. He gets past two. Wapex looks for a shot off the far post, but he can't connect. And now Zulu will pick up the loose change as he battles with Gus. Zulu looking for a couple pullbacks. Gus swats it away. Now Wapex pounces on it. Wapex looking to slide it for Jalen Pitre, but he misses his move. Now Tango gives way for ohLuvv. ohLuvv clears up the boards for Arax, but Arax can't get a stick on it before Zulu does. Now Zulu looking to cut towards the middle. And a bunch of ping pong happens. Puck finds its way out to the defensive corner for ohLuvv. ohLuvv, also named a All-Star starter for this Minnesota Grey Ducks team. He's had a very productive season once again, coming off his best campaign last season, which saw him finish second in Norris voting. As now Jalen Pitre looks for a one-timer off the boards. Nixes will glove it down and will hold for a face-off. I believe now I'm joined by Box to maybe color cast.
I can do that. Yep. Hello, guys.
All right.
I've arrived to the scene.
And the crew continues to grow as Siffin looks for a shot off the pullback, but he rings the iron on the outside post there. As now ohLuvv looks for a pass up to Ekshi. He's getting doubled as Tindor is surveying that same side pass. Now Tindor has it on the blue line. He looks to enter, now looks across it in, but Nix's 12 reads it well. And he'll glove it down and hold for another face-off.
A nice little save there, but so far, it seems like Calgary got this game in hand. I mean, they got this new signing with Tindor. The lines look a little bit more alive, and let's see what we can expect from them.
Tango wins that draw forward. Tango gets a step on Quake, but stumbles over his own feet and loses the puck. And a missed opportunity on a breakaway, and now Bugged pulls it back accidentally, looking for a pass up the ice. Now Bugged looks to clear, but he clears it right to Tindor. Tindor looks for a shot from the blue line, but nothing going there. Now Tango up the boards with Quake TFA. They'll battle in the corner, now behind the net of Orange Panda. Quake comes away with it. He looks to clear up for Siffin. Siffin has it, gets the step on 60 for the moment, but 60 quick to recover. Now 60 up for Bugged. Bug can't get his stick on it. And 60 will just reset behind his own net. 60 has it. Been given a lot of space by this CGY second line. And now he looks for a shot himself, but it gets blocked in front by Zulu. Now Wapex has it. He turns it over to Arax. Arax looks for a shot and he scores! Off the far post, a great shot from the blue line, and Minnesota ties it at 1.
Yeah, a great bit of play there from Buck going into Arax, and Arax has a nice little pocket of area there on the blue line for a nice P3, and that is something that Arax is always been great at, those P3s, those lethal shots from that line. And again, one falls past, and actually pretty surprising from Minnesota here after pretty much getting dominated for most of this first period.
Heavy underdogs on the road tonight against this Calgary team that has continued to be so productive in the regular season. I believe they're top 3 in the standings right now, definitely top 2 in the north. But now Wapex, a nice move to beat Gus. He takes it himself. He looks to slot it for Jalen Pitre, but ohLuvv gets a nice defensive stick on it at the last moment to poke that one away. Now ohLuvv has it. He looks to go up the boards. He beats Jalen Pitre. Now ohLuvv looking to cross it for Gus, but Gus not in position to receive that, and here comes Wapex the other way. Wapex now has it in the offensive zone. He looks to send it for Jalen Pitre, but the pass a little errant. Jalen Pitre not able to get his stick on it. Now Wapex crossing it for Zulu. Zulu looks for a one-timer, but he just sends it wide. Now ohLuvv gets doubled in the defensive zone. He looks to clear, but it's off of the back of Arax, who kept it in the zone, and a shot from Wapex offsides. A huge break for Minnesota.
That's really unfortunate. I mean, Zulu coming back from his previous play. Wapex and Zulu playing some great rotation here, but it just falls flat as Zulu is just barely offside of Wapex's sprint 5 hole.
Now Wapex up the boards. Sends it to the slot for Jalen Pitre, who gets his stick on it, but he just sends it off the post, and Nix's 12 covers it up.
Yeah, I mean, a great pass there from Wapex towards JP, and JP just not able to get it in the net as it hits the post. And back again, the pressure is on Minnesota here.
And that face-off on backwards. But I'll do it for the end of the period. We're going to send it back up to the desk with myself, Stan, and our box, and AllahFresco. So an exciting first period there. We saw a couple goals both ways, but we're tied at 1 apiece. AllahFresco, what did Minnesota do well there to keep this game level?
Yeah, they cashed in on a mistake there from Calgary. Arax just given a little too much room there, and Orange Panda, who's been able to bail them out for most of the year, wasn't able to on that chance. It does feel like Calgary has had the better of Minnesota so far, but the scoreboard reads a little bit different.
Yeah, and Calgary getting some pretty good opportunities. Box for Calgary, what do they got to do to start potting some more opportunities?
Yeah, I think so far they've been playing pretty good. I just think that, you know, like a player like ohLuvv is pretty hard to get by, and I think maybe they're pretty good with their slot passes and whatever. But I think they should just maybe shoot it from deep a bit more, like how Arax did it to get his goal from Minnesota. I think they should take more chances just to put more shots on board. I mean, Nixies hasn't been in the greatest shape. Now he's been doing a little bit better again, but they can definitely capitalize on this, and they're also missing another defender, Lampier. So, you know, just more shots from deep is definitely what I think they can use here. They have that in their bag, so why not?
Yeah, and Al, for this Minnesota team, we talked about it in the pregame. They're playing 3 players who primarily play in the NAMHL. What have been your read on those 3, 60, Gus, and Nixes? Like, how have they been doing?
Yeah, I think Nixie's kind of doing how expected. He's had some saves to keep them in the game. You know, hasn't been perfect, but and then the other 2 have had a rough start, and I think Calgary has to take advantage of that, and they just haven't been able to cash in.
Yeah, and going into the second period, we're tied up at 1. We'll send it back up to the booth and down to ice level for the start of this second period. So we'll get underway. Wapex and Arax in the dot once again. Wapex wins it towards the boards. Now he looks to center it, and ohLuvv pots it himself! Wapex just creating chaos in front of the net, and ohLuvv slotting it home. And Calgary takes a 2-1 lead.
And of course it has to happen to ohLuvv. It's really unfortunate there. I mean, Wapex trying to go for a slot pass middle, a nice little flick tack move into the slot. And I don't think Burb saw the flick coming, that it was going to be that hard. And just off of reaction, Burb clicked the puck to try and get it away, but it did ultimately end up in his own net. And that is really unfortunate for someone who's actually been playing pretty good and has to do most of the defensive work for this team today. It's really unfortunate, but nonetheless, 2-1 Calgary.
And a unlucky break for the Grey Ducks. A self-inflicted wound as that puck gets pulled back to Zulu. Zulu over for Jalen Pitre, but ohLuvv shuts it down. Now ohLuvv crosses to nobody. Gus the Cow not in position to receive that pass. ohLuvv looking to go up the boards. He takes it into the Calgary zone. He loses it to Wapex. Wapex, a 2-on-1 the other way. Arax swats that puck out of the air, but a second opportunity for Jalen Petre. He can't score it. And a little bit of a mess in front of the net, but Nix is 12, able to clear it away from danger. But this Calgary first line continuing to build on the pressure. As now Wapex over for Zulu in the slot, but it gets swatted away. Now Wapex, a rebound shot and a great save by Nixes. So that one was being sent towards the far side. But Nixes goes across his body to make a good save. Now a pass from Arax up to Gus, but he loses it. And puck finds its way out to neutral ice. It gets past Orange Panda for the moment, who was aggressive coming out to that puck. And now Quake has it. He gets back checked by Tango. Tango has it on the blue line. He looks to respond here for Minnesota. But now Siffin battling with 60 in the corner. 60 up for Bugged. Bugged loses it to Quake. And 60 will retreat into his own zone. He passes up to Bugged once again. 60 a pullback, loses it to Siffin, and Tango comes to recover as he tries to get past two Calgary forecheckers, but it's Tindor who comes away with it. Now Tindor sends it for the slot for Siffin, but that pass a little bit weak and nothing doing there for Calgary. Now Tango has it. Tango just dumps away from his zone. And Quake TFA will recover. A nice move to beat Bugged, but he sends that pass a little wide for Wapex to handle. And now Tango towards the middle. Can't get past Zulu. Zulu, a hit there on the boards, but nothing pen worthy there. And now Tango looks to enter the zone. Tango with Wapex. Wapex can't get the puck out of his own zone as he misses that pass, but he recovers well, and he looks to push the pace, and Nix is a nice save.
Yeah, good save again from Nixies, but honestly, they really can't get anything going here, Minnesota. Like, they're just getting constantly stomped, and then they finally get a chance, and then it's just stopped by Wapex, who goes back on Tango there, and you really can't get anything going here, as they just keep piling on the pressure at CGY.
Now Arax looking to slot it for Gus, but Zulu a great stick to swat it away. Now Zulu looking to go up for Wapex. Wapex kind of loses it in the neutral ice. The puck finds its way to Gus, who now battles with Zulu, and Gus overextends. Zulu gets the step. Zulu looks for a cross pass for Wapex. Wapex, a pullback off the boards, looks to center it for Jalen Petre, but it gets swatted out in front once again. And Minnesota doing everything they can to stop these slot passes from going as Wapex continues to just send them Jalen Petre's way. Now Wapex trying to get it over for Jalen Petre once again in the neutral ice, but nothing doing there. Wapex now has it on the boards. He waits for a moment for Siffin to make his run. Siffin makes a run towards the corner with the puck. He battles with ohLuvv. Siffin, a pullback, looks for his own shot, but ohLuvv reads it well. And ohLuvv gets it past Siffin, but Quake TFA dumps back into the zone. Now Arax up for ohLuvv. ohLuvv looks for the step, but Quake TFA quick to shut that one down. Now Arax has it in his own zone. He goes behind his own net to beat Siffin. He tries to pass up for Bugged, but Tindor there to receive that pass first. Now Tindor and Tango fight on the blue line. Tango gets it up for Bugged. Quake TFA playing a very solid defensive game so far. Bugged a nice move to go towards the middle, but nothing doing there. And Tango will recover in front of his own net. Tango up for Bugged. Bugged looks for the step, but he can't get anything going on this Calgary second line, which is doing a great job shutting down the Grey Ducks. Bugged, a couple of pullbacks. He looks for a move, but nothing doing there. And it will be a pen called on Minnesota.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate hit there from I believe it was Bugged, who was trying to do some play and then kind of hit someone off the puck there. And now a pretty scary and very not needed situation here for Minnesota, as they're already down. But Tango is still on the ice, and Tango is obviously a great skater, so they can definitely get something going here.
And then we'll leave 60 onto the ice to help with this pen kill. And now Tango behind his own net. Jalen Petrie doing a good job cutting him off. But Whitepeck's not able to get possession of the puck. Now Tango exits his own zone to get away from Whitepeck's, doing a good job, has killed over half the periods, or half the power play, excuse me, so far. Now Zulu up for Whitepeck's. Whitepeck's looks for a shot, but he can't convert. And now he sends a slot pass to Jalen Petrie, who looks for a shot off the pullback, but Tango shuts that one down. Now nice pullback from Zulu off the boards. Zulu up for Whitepeck's. Whitepeck's cutting towards the middle after missing the one-timer. But nothing doing there for Calgary, and it's a successful kill for the Grey Ducks. And now Whitepeck's towards the middle. He looks for a shot, but right into the chest of Nix's. Now a pass up to ohLuvv. ohLuvv on Zulu. ohLuvv over for Bug.
Ooh.
Bug takes his time and he scores! Bug lines it up and slots it home. It's 2-2 here in the second period.
Yeah, and some like crazy slacking there from CGY. I mean, putting up the pressure the whole like end of the period there, and then they leave the defender on a 2-on-1, and ohLuvv just plays very smart, takes his time, and slots it to the open man, and Bog just has a year to send a P3 past Orange Panda, and does so, and we're back in the game somehow. I don't even know how, but it's 2-2.
Yeah, it was a great find from ohLuvv, who was fresh onto the ice, to Bug, who was fresh out of the box. And a period mostly dominated by Calgary pressure might end with the Grey Ducks leveling this game, as Eriks wins that one forward, looking for a pass to Bugged, but nothing doing there. Now Bugged, a couple pullbacks off the board, looking to center it maybe, with a new wave of confidence after scoring that goal, but he can't get anything going there. Now Eriks has it. He accidentally pulls it back, I think, or maybe Tindor got a nice hit there. But Tindor sends it for the slot for Siffin, but nothing doing there. Now Bug, the last second opportunity, gloved down by Orange Panda. And we'll head to the third period, tied up at 2, and we'll send it back to the desk. And Stan, if you could host this so I can take a sip of water, I'd appreciate that.
Yep, sounds good. All right, thank you. We are back for the intermission before the third period, and so far, a pretty heavy game for CGY here. I mean, they're playing great, but they are still tied on 2-2, and it's crazy to say. I mean, like mostly possession from CGY here. I mean, I'll bring it to AllahFresco. Like, what do you think Calgary has to do to get that lead back?
Yeah, I mean, they're putting on the pressure. They're getting the right shots. I mean, I wish they could shoot a little bit better. You know, obviously that's a perfect world. So, you know, I think if they continue the way they're playing, they're gonna get it done. I just think defensively they need to tighten things up. They're giving up like 1 or 2 brutal chances that should never really be given up, and Orange Panda just hasn't been able to bail them out of some of these brutal chances.
Yeah, I must agree. I mean, for some reason, like with both of the goals from Minnesota, there's a lot of like open slots for P3s that can take 4 seconds to go in. I mean, kind of crazy, kind of slacking there for CGY, but I mean, they still have this in the bag. But let's just give a little prediction here. Life on the line. Who do you think scores this third period goal? We'll give it to Frumpy Bear first.
He hasn't gotten he's gotten a lot of chances today. I think I'll take Jalen Petrie to slot one here.
Okay. What about you? What about you, AllahFresco?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go not Jalen Peter for obvious reasons, but I'm gonna go with Bugged actually. Bugged has been having some good games recently, and he continues to get open. And this Calgary team fails to play some defense. He might sneak another one in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, but I'll go with Tindor. Why not? We'll go with the new guy on the block for CGY. But let's see how this last period hopefully unfolds.
We'll get started here in the third period. Whitepex up for Zulu. Zulu looks for a cross pass, but nothing going there, and a shot the other way, saved down by, or gloved down by Orange Panda. And a pass intercepted in the neutral zone by Arax, but it gets turned over to Zulu. And a nice move by Gus, but he stumbles over himself, trying to make anything of it. Now Gus looking to go towards the middle, but he gets shut down by Wapex. Wapex looking for another cross pass to Jalen Pitre. But nothing doing there. Now Wapex has on the boards. He loses it to ohLuvv. ohLuvv crosses it deep for Arax. Arax has it on the blue line. And he looks for a shot in the middle of the ice, but nothing doing there. Now Zulu has it. He goes into the Minnesota zone. ohLuvv wins that corner battle. He crosses it for Gus. Gus looking for a shot, but Wapex just gets to that puck first to shut down that scoring opportunity. Now Siffin, a nice pullback. Siffin looking to create for himself. Siffin looks for a shot, but ohLuvv swats it away. Now Quake on the blue line looks to send it in, but it gets swatted away. Now Quake up for Siffin. 60 gets to that puck first, but Siffin able to win it off of him. Now Tango comes over to help. Tango looks to cross it for Bugged, but it gets poked from behind. Now Tindor up for Siffin. Siffin looks for a shot, but that one also gets swatted away by a defensive Tango. Now Tango has it. Over for Bugged, who hit the one-timer, but it was very short. Now Tindor has an opportunity in front of the net. He misses it for the moment, and the second opportunity he sends right into Nix's 12. Another good pass from Siffin, but that opportunity squandered. Now Quake TFA has it on the blue line. He sends a shot, and it's saved by Quake TFA, or Nix's 12, excuse me. Now Tango has it. Battles with Siffin. Tango over for Bugged. Zulu comes away with it on the boards. Now Zulu looks for a shot the other way, but Bugged once again back there defensively to help out his goalie. Zulu, a nice pullback to Jalen Pitre, who sends it off the post again. Another opportunity squandered by this Wings first line. Jalen Pitre still not able to pot that goal. And now Wapex battles with Tango, who's been on for a long time, a long shift for the Minnesota superstar, but he'll finally head off for a change, and ohLuvv enters the wing zone, but a nice pass up to Wapex. Wapex looks for a shot, and he sends it off the far post. And this Calgary first line continuing to build villages with all these bricks. And the post's going to need a new paint job after this game. And Arax pulls it back. A drop pass to ohLuvv. ohLuvv enters the zone. ohLuvv looks for a cross pass, but nothing doing there. And Wapex gets to step the other way, but he dribbles right into Arax, who dumps it back into the Calgary zone. Now Wapex cuts towards the middle. Wapex looking to cut again, but Gus gets a nice crit on it. Now Gus looks for a pass to Arax, who just can't get the shot off. Now Siffin brings it up, guarded by ohLuvv. ohLuvv with control of the puck for the moment, but he loses it to Siffin. Siffin looks for a shot of his own, but he misses his move. Now Siffin for Tindor in the middle, but Tindor sends it right into the chest of Nix's 12. And Calgary creating these great slot opportunities, but just not able to convert on them, as we're a minute 30 left here in the third period. Tied up at 2. A point would go a long way for Minnesota as they look to climb in the standings of the North. I believe they're still already in a wild card spot, but every point matters, especially at this point of the season. Siffin gets stopped by 60. 60 dumps it up into the Calgary zone. Now 60 making a move. 60 towards the slot for Tango, but nothing doing there. 60 going all the way from his own defensive zone to try to create an opportunity for his center. But Quick TFA wins a 2-on-1 the other way, or a 1-on-2. But Siffin looks for an opportunity himself, but he gets shut down by 60 once again. Very back and forth at the end of this third period. Tango just dumps it towards the center. This Quick TFA has tons of time. He sends it up for Wapex. Wapex looks for an opportunity, but 60-04 able to go down the boards with him and dump it towards the corner. Now Bug just pulls it off of Tango's stick, turns it over to Wapex. Wapex looks for a shot and he scores! A turnover in the defensive zone gives Wapex an opportunity, and he pots it home to put Calgary on top with under 30 to go.
And what a fantastic goal there from Wapex. I mean, goes for a P2 pullback into a P2 with flick tech at the end. And I mean, no goalies realistically saving that. And a great moment to turn up for Wapex. I mean, he's been pretty silent this game today, but he had some good passes. But now he's finally on the score sheet for real. Like no crud goal. A great goal there from Wapex, and heartbreak for Minnesota as they do really need these points. And now 2-3 with 30 seconds left. But can they still come back? Maybe. You never know.
It's not over until the fat lady sings as Tango looks across that, but he turns it over to Zulu. Zulu looking to end it, but a good save by Nix's 12. And offsides for Calgary. Minnesota still has their timeout, but they haven't used it yet. Doesn't look like they're going to.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, they have this last play. This is it. They have to win this.
And Wapex wins that draw forward. ohLuvv looking to send it up. 7 seconds to go. Wapex towards the middle. Wapex a shot at the last moment. Wapex a rebound shot. But that will do it for this game. Calgary takes it 3-2 as they survive a scare from an underdog Minnesota team, but they keep on winning.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of crazy. Honestly, you were really rooting for Minnesota there with how it was going, kind of, just shot after shot from CGY, piling on the pressure on Nixies, and just barely lost that game. Truly unfortunate, but a great game played by CGY. Besides the defensive mishaps, maybe overall the attacks were good.
Yeah, a good win, a quality win for Calgary. But we're going to take a quick break here. We have a game coming up at 8:05. It'll be the Boston Grizzlies visiting the Seattle Golden Eagles. And we'll be back right after this break. Welcome back to the desk. We got about a minute here, but we're here for an exciting matchup, Seattle versus Boston. Boston took this first matchup pretty convincingly, but this Seattle team has, in my opinion, improved a decent bit since that moment. AllahFresco, I'm joined by, once again, I'm Frumpy Bear. Al, going into this game, what are your expectations?
Yeah, the Seattle team's definitely rattled off some victories after losing to this Boston team, I believe earlier in the season. I believe it was a pretty bad game for the Geagles. It was 4-1 loss, I believe. But it looks like they have seemed to recover and bounce back. And I believe, more importantly, MF Rayado is making his appearance back in the lineup after like literally dropping off the face of the planet for like 3 weeks. So that's something also to watch for the Seattle team, as well as getting some new acquisitions into their lineup.
Yeah, Air Bear did not play bad in place of MF Rayado, but having the Vezina finalist back in between the pipes will be very big for this Seattle team. And Al, going into this game, what is your score prediction? Who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, I think Boston's probably going to win, but I think it's going to be a closer game. I think 3-2. Also, Boston, real quick, they're starting some of their younger players, Sox and Fake Mr. Flimflam, both in the lineup for them as well. And I believe Zombie Magikarp is starting.
Yeah, so, but I mean, a lot of guys who have experience in the Boston system, so still expected to probably be business as usual for this Grizzlies team coming, the reigning Cup champions. As 6 FPS will chase Youppi behind the net of Zombie Magikarp, who is indeed taking the start today. Started the finals last season for Boston, put a pretty decent performance together for a rookie. The Grizzlies took that series in 5 over the Orlando Storm. But it'll be fake Mr. Flimflam lined up at defense on this first line. Making the switch was the NAMHL MVP, playing center last season for the Tampa Bay Turtles. As Youppi, a great pass up to Sox. Sox looks for a shot and he pots it immediately. And Boston takes a 1-0 lead early here in the first. I don't have a color caster, so it will just be me once again. A solo casting here, but a great pass from Youppi off the clearance from fake Mr. Flimflam, and that's how Boston makes their butter. They work. That first line works through Youppi, and a great pass gives them the lead. That'll be Cat Cuddler, JR Goof, and Peachy Paw on the second line versus Glenny Blue, Lids, and Snowflake, or formerly known as 7 Josh, but Snowflake right now. Now Cat Cuddler wins it forward, looks for a shot off the draw, but Glenny Boo stuffs it. Now Glenny Boo gets the step for the moment on Cat Cuddler, but Cat Cuddler, nice pullback, looks for an opportunity. Snowflake, a pullback to beat Cat Cuddler. Up for Glenny Boo. Glenny Boo looks for a cross pass, but it gets swatted away by JR Goof. Now Peachy Paw looks to clear, but Glenny Boo jumps on it. Now Glenn looks for a move out of the corner. But nothing doing there for the first season center. Coming off a Norris campaign with the Calgary Wings and a very successful 4-season stretch for the former first overall pick. Now JR Goof looks for a shot off the pullback, but Snowflake throws his body in front of it to shut it down. Now Peachy Paw battles with Glenny Boo on the blue line, but Cat Cuddler comes to take over. Cat Cuddler, or Sleepy Temple, passing up for Sticks FPS. Sticks looks to cross it, but nobody for Seattle there, and Lids crosses it back over for Youppi, who's fresh off the bench. Youppi looks for an opportunity, but he gets shut down by Camper. Now Missia battling with Youppi. Youppi looking to slot it. Missia reading it well, keeping that puck in the corner. Now Youppi has it. Still looks for a pass, but nothing doing there, and Missia clears for the moment. Fake Mr. Flimflam runs up to the puck. He dumps it back into the zone for Youppi. Youppi looks to slot it for Sox, who cannot put it home. And a missed opportunity. Boston without HYJS, once again, their second leading goal scorer, who's put together a very successful season, enough to be named a all-star sub for this Boston team. As through 4 games this season with 9 goals. A very good start, but Boston missing him today. But as we mentioned on the desk, Sox filling in for the Grizzlies. JR Goof! A shot on the blue line, and he scores to tie it at 1. A great pass from Missia, and the Geagles knotted up. Seattle, an opportunity on the fast break, and a great find from Missia, who does a great job potting that over to a wide open JR Goof. And here in Seattle, it's 1-1. Now Sleepy wins it forward, gets the step on Snowflake for the moment, but Snowflake quick to recover. Now Snowflake switches sides. He passes up for Glenn, but Glenn not there to receive it. Glenn over for, or Peachy Paw, excuse me, up for JR Goof, who looks to slot it for Sleepy Temple. Now Sleepy Temple, a pullback, looks for his own shot, but it's right into the chest of Zombie Magikarp. 2 shots so far in this game for both sides, and both goals respectively for the Geagles and the Grizzlies. Now Peachy Paw up for JR Goof. JR Goof runs into a wall that is Snowflake. No call there from the referee. Now Snowflake looks to go up for Glenn. Peachy Paw shuts it down. Now Snowflake has it again. Back up for Glenn. Glenn gets a step on Peachy Paw. Looks for the post, but it gets swatted away by MF Rayado. Now Peachy Paw up for JR Goof, who looks to cross it, but he accidentally pulls it back. The Seattle second line with a bit more of a burst offensively than they usually have. Glenny Boo loses it to Peachy Paw behind the net. Peachy Paw very tenacious defensively so far for Seattle. Now Peachy Paw looks for his own shot, but it doesn't get through Youppi, who swats it away. Now Youppi looks for a shot of his own, but Sticks FPS tracks him down. Now Youppi, a great move right into MF Rayado, who read it beautifully to make a great save on the doorstep. Now Youppi has it, looking to send it slot once again to Sox. And that's the Youppi playstyle. He's one of the best at it in the league at getting those slot opportunities for his wingers. Now Sticks may be looking to pass it over to Missia, but Missia sends it to Sticks. Sticks a shot, and it's saved by Zombie Magikarp. A great save by the Boston goaltender. Former second-round pick of last season. 2 last season drafted goalies. MF Rayado the first. And Sticks FPS scores off the pass by Missia. And Seattle takes the lead. It's 2-1. And the Geagles on home ice, in need of a win to turn the momentum around, takes a 2-1 lead over the current leaders in the standings, the Boston Grizzlies. With 1:15 to go here in the period, Missia 2 assists already, as he's playing a great game on this Seattle first line. Youppi wins it forward, gets past Camper, but our Glenny Boo, excuse me, gets past Camper, but that shot saved by MF Rayado. And now Camper up for Sticks. Sticks has it. Sticks gets a step on Snowflake for the moment, but Snowflake gets it for Glenny Boo. Now Glenny Boo looks for a shot himself, and he scores! He sneaks it to the far post past MF Rayado, who wasn't ready for the shot, and Boston ties it up at 2. Boston with a quick response to the Sticks goal. And the reigning Cup champion showing a lot of fight here. So they fight down, they give up 2 straight, 2 unanswered, and they answer with a goal of their own quickly. Now it'll be Youppi, Glenn, and Snowflake versus Cat Cuddler, JR Goof, and Peachy Paw for presumably the rest of this period. Cat Cuddler looks for a shot, but he can't get past Snowflake. And now Youppi crossing it for Glenn, but Cat Cuddler read that one beautifully. Now Glenn looks to center it, but nobody there as both him and Youppi both chased for it. Now Catcolor, with tons of space, looks for a shot, but Snowflake shuts it down. Now Peachypaw over for Catcolor, who looks to cross it for JR Goof, but nothing doing there for Seattle. 30 seconds to go. Glenn towards the slot for Youppi, but Youppi can't get a stick on it. Pass was a little bit short. Now JR Goof gets a step on 2 Boston players, but Youppi just dumps it back out to Snowflake. Now Youppi towards the middle for Glenn, but Peachypaw clears. Peachypaw loses it to Glenn. Glenn looks for a shot, but it's saved by MF Rayado. Now JR Goof up for Sleepy Temple. Sleepy Temple towards the middle, looking for a last-second opportunity, but nothing doing there. And after 1 period, we're tied up at 2. A high-flying first period for both squads, but we're going to send it back up to the desk with myself and AllahFresco. So this game tied up at 2 apiece. Boston potting the first one, Seattle responding with 2 of their own, and then Boston netting the equalizer. And AllahFresco, going into this game, we thought this was one that Boston was going to win, even though they were missing some people. But Seattle doing a great job keeping up with them. What have they done that's working so well?
Yeah, I mean, if there is one thing that Boston has had a weakness with so far, it has been their defensive side of the ball. And so far, Seattle has had some very high quality chances that they've haven't missed. We saw in the last game between Calgary and Minnesota, Calgary had a lot of high danger chances that they were just not able to cash in on, either hitting the post or missing net a little bit wide. This Seattle team is 2 for 3, as it shows in the shot category versus goal category. So they're definitely cashing in on their chances when they're able to. But Boston has been right there with them. So it seems like a game where it's going to be determined on which team's going to score more goals. The defenses are not really there, and the goaltenders are kind of left on an island right now because these shots have been pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, a lot of really good opportunities for both sides. For Boston, Youppi still doing his thing, getting that puck to the slot a little bit more, but kind of how we saw with Jalen Petre last game for the Wings, Sox just not really slotting them home. He did connect on one, however, though, but a couple open opportunities missed. But Youppi, for playing with 2 4.5s, he's still putting in work out there. But I want to talk about Missy. I think Missy is having a very strong game, despite what the plus minus might show. But 2 assists so far for the Seattle superstar. What does he need to do going into the second period to keep his team up there?
Yeah, I mean, he's played fantastic. He needs to keep dishing the puck to the middle because it's working, and his teammates are finishing.
Absolutely, but we're going to send it back up to the booth and down to ice level as Misia wins that face-off forward. And now Styx has it. Guarded one-on-one by Fake Mr. Flimflam. Fake clears it from the corner for the moment, but Camper dumps it back in. Now Styx will give chase. Fights with Youppi. Youppi gets the step. Camper up for Styx. Styx goes to her middle. Styx looks for a shot, but Fake Mr. Flimflam shuts it down. A good defensive stick by the Sheriff to swat that one away. Now Misia gets past Youppi, looks for a shot, but it's saved by Zombie Magikarp. Now Youppi, a quick opportunity. Up for Sox. Sox just sends a one-timer, and it's well wide of the net. Sox gives chase to Styx. Sox wins out of the corner, but Styx clears it immediately. Misia has a little bit of room. Misia gets a step on Fake Mr. Flimflam. Misia looks for a shot towards the middle of the ice, but nothing doing there. Now Misia crossing it for Styx. But Fake Mr. Flimflam quick to recover. As now a battle in the corner pursues. Not a lot of that in the first period, which is very unusual for a BHL game. A lot of a BHL game does get played in the corners, looking for either passes or opportunities. But a great pass from Snowflake or Lids. I couldn't see who it was over to Glenny Boo, but he sends that shot right off the post. And now Glenn wins it over Peachypaw, but Peachypaw gets a last-second stick on it to stop him from getting any opportunity. Glenn trying to take over. Peachypaw up for JR Goof. And now Snowflake has it. Loses it to JR. JR a pullback. JR looks to center it, but Gleniboo shuts him down. Now JR, a nice move. JR looks for his own shot, but he just gets shut down again. But JR Goof getting active. Now JR Goof in the slot, and a great sliding save by Zombie Magikarp to keep this game tied. Now Pichipa up the boards for JR Goof. Snowflake has it. JR Goof another fast pullback. He's getting active with that move. Getting active in the offensive zone. Camper has it. He looks to go up for JR Goof, but it's read well by Gleniboo. Gleniboo looks to slot it for Lids, but he just sends it behind Lids, who now battles with Cat Cuddler. Sleepy gets a step for the moment, but sends it out to Snowflake, who turns it over to Styx. Styx now has it in the corner. Styx fresh onto the ice. Styx looks for some magic, and Zombie Magikarp makes a great save. He read that all the way. As Styx looks for some mechanical brilliance. Missia for Styx, the one-timer, and another save by Zombie Magikarp. The drop pass, and Missia scores! Seattle retakes the lead, 3-2 here in the second period. The Seattle Golden Eagles taking a 3-2 lead here in the second period. And Missia has 3 points. And this revitalized Seattle team making a name for themselves as they have the reigning Cup champion Boston Grizzlies trailing here on the road. And Missia, a great pullback. Missia looks for a shot, but it just gets swatted by fake Mr. Flimflam. Missia having a fantastic game so far as Styx FPS gets the pull off the boards, but it gets swatted away. Now Youppi looks for a shot. A great save by MF Riado. MF Riado getting back to form as this game goes on. Looking like the Vezina finalist goaltender of past. But now Youppi battles with Missia. Missia playing very disciplined on Youppi, trying not to give him a breakaway, but Pichipa jumps on that puck. Now Pichipa, an opportunity! Pichipa, a shot, but it's saved by Zombie Magikarp. A great opportunity for the new second-line defenseman of the Seattle Golden Eagles, but a good save by Zombie Magikarp. 9 shots now for Seattle as they're out shooting their opponent, not something that they've done very often this season. Now Youppi looks for a pass to Sox, a deep pass, but Sox can't get a stick on it. Now Sox a pullback. He just sends it towards the middle of the ice, but it easily gloved down by MF Riado. Now a little bit of a miscommunication from Seattle, and Gleniboo almost prospering off of that, looking for a pullback goal, but it gets gloved down by MF Riado. Riado, a nice couple gloves here in this game. It's 3-2. Now, Missia loses it on the boards to Gleniboo. Gleniboo a pullback. Fake as he was cutting towards the middle. Now Gleniboo a shot, but another great positional save by MF Riado. As now JR Goof loses it to Gleniboo. Pichipa lagging a little bit, I think, but he turns it right over, and Boston not able to capitalize, but Gleniboo, a shot from beyond half court, and he scores! And we are tied up at 3 as Boston takes advantage of the lagging Pichipa to generate an opportunity. And we're knotted up at 3 once again, Boston responding. Once again. Three the score here. Minute 29 left in the second period of a very contested matchup. 2 teams headlocked with each other, 9 shots apiece, 3 goals apiece. But it's been Seattle the one striking first here. Now Styx looks for a goal! A shot, excuse me, off a pullback, but nothing doing there. As Styx is getting active, he's really come on as one of the best wingers in the BHL this season. Now a turnover. Styx taking advantage of it for the moment, but Gleniboo swats it away. Glenn looks to get active on Camper. Camper clears up for Missia. Missia gets to the puck first, but Snowflake able to do enough to keep it in front of him. Now a shot from Glenn. He's starting to take over, but Camper just swats it away. Now Camper a pullback. Loses it to Glenn. Now finally clears from the zone. Youppi backing off, trying to guard the cross pass, and Youppi gets a stick on it. Now JR Goof has it. He's going to take his time. JR Goof just dumps up the boards. JR Goof loses the 50-50 puck with Youppi. Now Youppi over for Glenn, but Cat Cuddler read that one perfectly and was on it. Now Cat Cuddler has it in center ice. Cat Cuddler looks for a shot of his own. It's off the goalie. JR Goof can't caress the rebound and put it in. But an almost golden opportunity for the Golden Eagles late here in the second period. Now Glenn looking to clear it up for Youppi, who's up past the defenders, but nothing doing there for this period. It's 3-3. We're tied up here in Seattle. We're going back up to the desk with myself and AllahFresco. And a very exciting matchup. And Al, 3-3. Seattle still staying in here and actually have put Boston on their heels twice since Boston scoring the opening goal. What is the key here for Seattle to not only get that game leading goal, but also not concede going into this third period?
Tough question to answer. I mean, there's a lot to answer there. Offensively, they just need to keep doing what they're doing. It feels like they've been in the driver's seat. They've been the team who's broken the tie multiple times at this point. So I think they just need to get another goal here early in the third period, and then try to focus a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. It seems like a scramble. I know Peachy Paw is brand new to their system, and I don't know if he's technically ready for the defenseman role, but a little bit of inexperience there, to say the least. And Camper's been caught sleeping quite a few times as well. So if they can get one quickly in the third and then try to limit the chances, maybe they'll sneak out a victory against this very good Boston team.
And for Seattle, they're doing something in this game that they haven't done a whole lot this season, which is outshooting their opponent. Their leading shots 10-9 so far. For Boston specifically, you mentioned Camper and Peachy Paw, a little shaky so far. How do they capitalize and take advantage of that? Because Emma Ferrado's put together a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a couple chances that they've hit off the post or, missed in the slot, and could have gotten a couple more shots through. I think they're doing the right things. I expect to see a little more of a Youppi takeover in this third period. You might see a little bit more of a dominate Youppi in the offensive zone if Boston wants to take this game. He usually takes things into his own hands in close games like this.
I absolutely agree, and we have a very anticipating, exciting third period coming up. Missia and Youppi in the face-off dot. Once again, Missia wins it forward. Missia looks to attack early as Camper sends a cross for Sticks. Sticks, a pullback on the blue line. Sticks looks for a shot, and fake Mr. Flimflam gets his stick on it at the last moment once again. Sticks continuing to get active. A slot pass. Sticks score! The post. Seattle takes a 4-3 lead here in the third period. And a fourth point for Missia, who notches his third apple of the evening. And Sticks FPS pots his second to put the Golden Eagles up by 1. And they attack early, as AllahFresco said. They got to get out early. They got to sneak one past, and they got to help their defensemen out. They get the goal. They're up by 1. And now the pressure back on Boston. Can they respond for a third time? Missia over for Sticks, but he loses it. Youppi now the other way. Sticks on the blue line. He jumps over the puck. Excuse me. As now Sticks FPS battles with Youppi in the corner. Sticks and Youppi going down the boards, but now Camper will take over. Camper gets the step on Youppi. It goes up for Sticks. Sticks looks to cross it. Missia's there for the one-timer, but he cannot pot it home. Now Sox the other way. Sox looks for a shot, but Camper clears it at the last moment. And Seattle continuing to pour on the good opportunities as this first line has found new form. Camper the other way. Camper looks to cross it for Sticks, but nothing going there. Now Youppi the other way. He looks for a shot, but Rayado clears. Now Youppi looking to take over here. Youppi cuts towards the middle, but two Seattle defenders pounce on him to poke that puck away. Now Sleepy gets the step on Snowflake. Snowflake dumps it up, but it turns over to JR Goof. That puck squirts out to Peachypaw. Peachypaw looks for a pullback, aggressive move in the neutral ice, and Glenny trying to take advantage of that. As now Glenn tries to send it towards the slot for Lids, but that pass not quite on the mark. And Glenn needing to use his teammates a little bit more often in this game, and maybe it could be a much different result. Lids, one of the goal leaders of the playoffs last season, was a great slot option for Youppi. This season takes a different role on the second line with Glenn, who's not as much of a passer as Youppi is, as Peachypaw gets the step for the moment. Glenny a nice move. Glenny looks for a shot, and he ties it up at 4. A hat trick for Glenn. And Boston ties it at 4. They get the goal back once again, and for a third time respond. And once again, this matchup of heavyweights continues as it stays 4-4. And with 3:51 left here in the third period, it's now anyone's game once again. As Boston continues to be the comeback kids. So we get another face-off between Youppi and Missia. Youppi wins it forward, but Missia quick to recover. Missia turns it over to Sox, but Peachypaw clears for the moment. So a little bit of a mix-up of lines. No Camper out on the first line yet. Still getting a little bit of stam left, but Sticks one-on-one with fake Mr. Flimflam. Fake clears it up the boards, but Peachypaw dumps it right back in. Sticks has it in the corner. Sticks a pullback. Sticks looks for a shot of his own once again. And he's become so dangerous from that corner as Missia gets a slot shot, but a good save by Zombie Magikarp. As I was saying, as Sticks becomes more dangerous from that corner, Youppi having to float a little bit further over just to try to shut down any opportunity. But Youppi a shot off the pullback, but a great save by MF Rayado. Now Missia pokes that puck away from Youppi, but Snowflake dumps it back up the middle of the ice. Now Snowflake up for Youppi. Youppi loses it to Camper. Camper up for Sticks. Sticks gets it into the Boston zone for the moment. Sticks into the corner. Sticks a pullback. Sticks some more pullbacks, but he accidentally dumps it out of the zone, so Seattle will have to reset, and that allows for a line change for Boston. Glenn tries to get the step on JR Goof, but JR Goof doing a good job of forechecking to keep this puck in the Boston zone. Now Snowflake up for Glenn, who looks to cross it immediately, but it gets swatted away. Now JR Goof has it at the blue line, but he can't get a shot off. Liz does a great job of helping defensively to shut that opportunity down. Now Snowflake with JR Goof. JR, a pullback, looks to center it for Sleepy Temple, but nothing doing there. Now Peachypaw has it. He's over for JR. JR crosses it for Sleepy. Sleepy a shot, but it's saved by Zombie Magikarp, and Seattle continuing to pour on the good opportunities as we're under 2 minutes to go here in the third period. Sleepy gets stuffed by Snowflake in the neutral zone. And Peachypaw will reset. Up for JR. JR has it on the blue line. He almost turns it over to Glenny but now Peachypaw back up for JR. JR crosses it. Gets past Lids for the moment, but he recovers well. Sleepy now has it in the corner. Sleepy looking to center, but Glenny comes flying in to shut that opportunity down. Now Cat Cuddler has it in the corner. Gets the step on Socks. Cat Cuddler looking to cross it, but Glenny shuts it down once again. Now Cat Cuddler and Glenny battling behind the net. Glenn centers it accidentally for Sticks, but he swats it away as Sticks had an open shot at the middle of the goal. And Sticks looking for some magic once again, but still nothing doing as Camper dumps it in. Snobby Magikarp not clearing it, and will give up for fake Mr. Flimflam. Fake dumps it up the boards for Youppi. Youppi looking to create something on his own as we're under a minute to go here in the third period. Youppi looking for a shot on his own, but it gets stuffed away once again. Now it's Youppi. Looks for a shot. Youppi scores! Another DP3 from Boston to put them up 1 with 27.1 on the clock. And the Grizzlies take a 5-4 lead. I'm out of breath. And a timeout from Seattle. So I'm going to take a sip of water here. Youppi taking over this game with a fantastic shot to put the Grizzlies up by 1. A very high scoring affair between these two North contenders. 9 total goals have been logged so far. Missia, Catcuddler, and Camper, the line stack for Seattle, and against Youppi, Lids, and Glennyboo. Glenn just dumps it into the Seattle zone. Youppi takes it off the turnover, but Camper recovers well. Now Youppi, a pullback, looks to ice the game, but Friado makes a great save. Now a pass up for Missia. Missia needs to get rid of it. Up for Catcuddler. Catcuddler with 5 seconds to go. Glennyboo clears, and Boston will survive. They win it 5-4 in a shootout. As they steal a win, as they survive on the road in Seattle. And the second time tonight that the favorited team goes toe-to-toe and scores a late game winner. As it's Youppi potting the final goal to win it 5-4 for the Grizzlies. I'm starting to repeat myself here, so we're going to go to break. We got one more game tonight, and it'll be Boston versus Calgary. A very exciting matchup coming up.
Hello everyone, welcome to the last game day of week. Whatever is here. There'll be a quick desk here today as we'll be starting off in 40 seconds. Just me and Golden Hunter here. Hello, Golden Hunter.
Hi.
Hey. Anything to say about this? But we just watched Boston play. We just watched Calgary play earlier today. How do you think this game's gonna end up?
I think Boston's gonna win, and I think it's gonna be a high-scoring affair for them. I think they're gonna win by 2 or 3 goals. I'll take them 5-2.
Hey, cool. I won't say anything. Well, we'll send you down the ice level back to Golden Hunter, and
And I'm joined by Jared Goof. Yes.
Hi!
The 2-man of doom. Lord have mercy. Anywho, a battle between 2 of the heavyweights in the North. It'll be Boston and CGY, or Calgary. Youppi versus Wipex, 2 of the consensus top 3 players in the league. Same lines as we saw earlier tonight, but Youppi and Wipex lined up in the dot. Youppi wins that forward. And a good pass from Youppi. He looks for Sox, who looks for a quick shot. Kind of like how they did last game, a quick opportunity. But nothing doing there for the Grizzlies. We're coming off of scoring 5 goals in their last one. A shootout as Wipex looks for a shot of his own, but he sends that one just off the far post. Fake Mr. Flimflam going to have his hands full with Wipex tonight as he looks to cross it. As he dumps it into the CGY zone as Wipex comes away with it. Now Wipex battles with Youppi on the boards. Youppi a couple nice moves behind his own net to shake Wipex for the moment, but Wipex quick to recover. Or I guess not very quick, but does recover as Wipex, an open opportunity! Wipex looks for a shot and a good save by Zombie Magikarp, who then follows up with a great save on Siphon on the rebound. And now Wipex to the middle for Siphon.
Chances don't get more clear-cut than that. Good job from Zombie Magikarp shutting down the door.
He made a good save on Wipex, who was trying to find the far side, and then slides over to cover up the puck on the near side as Siphon, fresh onto the ice, was unmarked. Now Quake has it on the boards. He'll just send it cross to Siphon, who starts lagging. So Tindor will take it over. Tindor. In his second game now with the Wings, he scored a goal in his first one against the Grey Ducks earlier tonight. A pretty strong debut for the new Calgary second liner, as his line will now match up against Glenny Boo, Snowflake, and Lids. Siphon tries to win it out of the corner, but Glenny Boo takes it away. Glenn looks to enter the Wings zone, and he does. Quake TFA jumps on it, but Glenn comes away with it. Now Glenn towards the middle, but Quake TFA swats it away, and Snowflake will just redump it back into the wing zone. But a couple of line changes coming out for both sides, as Zulu will take over the puck behind his own net. Zulu gets a step on Sox for the moment, but he turns it over to Youppi, who now tries to dump it up for Sox. Now Youppi battles with Zulu. Zulu crosses it for Wipex. Wipex with a lot of open ice here. Wipex towards the middle. Wipex looks for a shot, and it's off the post. Wipex currently dominating offensively for this Calgary first line, as Jalen Pitre will get a shot from the blue line. But that one saved by Zombie Magikarp, who's having a much better start to this game than he did against the Seattle Golden Eagles, as Wipex looks for an opportunity once again, and Youppi there to bail out his team. As now Jalen Pitre dumps it back into the corner. Jalen Pitre looks to center it for Wipex, but Wipex not there to receive it. Fake Mr. Flimflam up for Sox, who turns it over to Zulu. Now Youppi dances in the middle ice. Turns it over to Wipex. Wipex looks to center it for Jalen Pitre, but he cannot get a stick on it. And a great pass from Wipex. And now Wipex looking for a shot of his own once again. Just having his way with the puck right now. And the first shot excuse me, well wide of the net. Now Siffin has it in center ice. Siffin on the boards. Back for Tindor, who battles with Glenny Boo. Glenny Boo, oh, a shifty pass towards the slot for Lids. I don't even think Lids was expecting it, as he's not able to pounce on the opportunity. Glenn looks for a shot and a good save by Orange Panda. And now Glenn fights with Tindor. That puck finds its way out to the post of Orange Panda, but nothing doing there as a slot pass swatted away by Quake TFA. Now Glenny Boo looks for a one-timer opportunity, but a great save by Orange Panda, who is also having a much better start to this game than he did against Minnesota, as Orange Panda gets another save off the shot from Sox. Now Youppi, pressed by two Calgary forecheckers, as Zulu dumps it up for Jalen Pitre. Jalen Pitre just crosses it to nobody. It's now Sox looking to clear it up, but Jalen Pitre keeping in the zone. He looks to slide it for Wapex, but three Boston defenders there to clear it away. Now Zulu looks to go for Jalen Pitre. It does get poked back in by Youppi. Now Zulu looks to send it out. He recovers off the initial good contact by Sox to get it up for Wapex, who looks for a shot, but a good save by Zombie Magikarp. Now another slot opportunity. Wapex gets a shot of his own off the turnover, and another good save by Zombie Magikarp. Wapex with probably 4 shots on goal already for Calgary. He's had a great start to this game. Now Youppi looking to cross it over at the end of the period, but nothing doing. And a much different pace to this game, as it's going to be tied 0-0 going into the first intermission. We'll send it back up to the desk with JR Goof.
Oh, I joined you up here. Thank you, AllahFresco, for joining us.
Yeah, no worries.
Happy to have you here. Well, I'm going to go to you right away. What did you see that period?
Yeah, totally different game, as Frumpy Bear was saying on the broadcast, but a lot more defensively shifted, but I saw Wapex dominating that first line of Boston. I know they have 2 rookies in Sox and fake Mr. Flimflam on there, but Wapex looks like he's getting the better of Youppi right now. Just haven't been able to cash in, and that's really been the story of tonight for Calgary. Just haven't been able to cash in on their chances. I know they did win their game over Minnesota, but it was pretty close.
I know I would agree. At Calgary and a game and complete opposite of the previous game you saw, where seemingly every shot going in, all of a sudden goalies are playing more solidly so far in that first period. February, what do you have to say about the goalie play you've seen so far?
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Yeah, no, they've both been great. I mean, Orange Panda having a bounce back. He's had a rough couple games recently. But he's looks great so far today. His positioning looks really good. He's made a lot of good saves on point blank opportunities. And for Zombie Magikarp, he has had to slide all around the crease to try to save some of these Wapex opportunities. And he's been perfect on it so far. I mean, 0 complaints on how either of these goalies are playing, and they've done both a great job keeping this a 0-0 game.
You know what? Also, I think Calgary's downfall in this game is going to be the inability of Jalen Pitre to be able to create anything himself, because even if Wapex gets down, they can just focus down on him, right?
Why did I know that was coming?
Yeah.
But Wapex has been able to generate offense by himself, so
He has been, but the shots have been saved because Zombie Magikarp has been able to shut the door on him.
Fair enough.
Hey, hello, Golden Hunter. Take it away.
Thank you, JR the Goof.
That is me.
We'll get started here in the second period. But Youppi and Wapex once again in the dot. Both players a little hesitant to pull it back, but Youppi finally creates an opportunity for Sox, who gets a shot. But another good save by Orange Panda. It's now fake Mr. Flimflam. Up for Youppi. Youppi enters the zone. He's chased by Wapex and Zulu. But now Zulu will back off to give way for Wapex. Wapex looks to send it out, but Sox blocks it down. Now Sox looking to create an opportunity himself. He gets punched off the puck by Orange Panda. And the whistle going to come out here from the referee.
Goalie pen.
And it'll be a pen on the goalie. So Jalen Petre will head to the box. It will be Zulu and Wapex tasked with the penalty kill. What happened there, Jaragoof?
Just a jostle for the puck. Orange Panda's a very aggressive goalie. He likes coming out of his net. Sometimes it's to the detriment when you get into a jostle right on the puck. Sometimes the player gets hit when he has a clear chance, and that's just not fair to the player.
Yeah, and
Sucks.
goalie pens are always fun because it's kind of like a TMM in a way where you can just put whoever you want in the box. But it will be Siphon and Quake now out there for the penalty kill against Glenn, Lids, and Snowflake. Glenn looks for a shot right off the draw, and Orange Panda read it perfectly and makes another great save. As now Siphon getting a little aggressive. Siphon, a part of this Boston team that brought home the cup last season. Now playing center on the second line for Calgary. As there's a slot opportunity sent out for Lids, but he cannot connect on it. 20 seconds to go in this power play for the Grizzlies. Calgary doing a good job shutting it down. Siphon maybe looking for something short-handed here. So he gets pretty aggressive, but then backs off. Glenn's going to bring it up. This might be the last opportunity for this power play. Glenn creates a shot himself, but a great save by Orange Panda. Glenn looks off his teammate and looks for the shot himself. He scored a hat trick last game, so he has the scoring touch tonight, but that one just into the chest of OP, and he makes a great save and a successful kill for the Calgary defense. It's now Quake TFA. A move to get past Lids. Glennyboo jumps on the puck once again, but nothing doing there. But he is able to get it into the Calgary zone, but Quake sends a pass up for Jalen Petre, who didn't track the puck very well. So a turnover there for Calgary as here comes Whitepex. Whitepex sends it off the post, and Zombie Magikarp hits it back off the post and out of his crease. A great save from Zombie Magikarp. Not really sure how that one didn't glove. But he clears it nonetheless, and he's on one tonight. Both goalies are. So he registers his 5th save on his 5th shot against. Now Zulu will fight with Youppi in the corner. Zulu comes away with it and dumps it up the boards for Wapex. Wapex looks to center it. Jalen Petre, but that pass a little bit behind him, so he's not able to connect. Wapex will just dump it up the boards and then chase Youppi in the neutral zone, but Youppi up for Sox. Sox looks for a shot, but Zulu reacts to it quickly. Zulu up for Wapex. But fake Mr. Flimflam gets a defensive stick on that one. Now, Wapex looks for a shot from the corner from himself, but Youppi shuts it down. Now, Youppi looks to send it towards the slot, but Wapex pokes it away. Now, Zulu dumps it towards the boards, and a pen going to be called on the away team. It will be. It'll be Sox. Sox taking the pen here, so Boston going on the penalty kill, and it'll be Siphon, Tindor, and Quake on the power play. Jericho, run us through it.
Just the classic hit in the pack. Jostle for the puck, hit in the back. Oh, Chetster, hit in the back. Plays player out of position. That gets called about 79.2% of the time. Stats indicate.
And in the BHL this season, at least something I feel like I've noticed is that the power play, teams don't convert on it at a very high clip. So it'll be interesting to see if CGY is able to do anything on this opportunity. Boston 0 for 1 on the power play so far tonight. Now Siphon, a pullback over for Tinder, a one-timer opportunity, and Zombie Magikarp reads it well. And there's a good save. Now Tindor over for Siphon. Siphon lines it up. Siphon a shot and he scores! Calgary takes a 1-0 lead as they capitalize on the power play.
And as we were talking, we find that teams don't really capitalize on the power play that much, and Calgary definitely does. They're finding where the open space is, where that open man is after a bit of a frantic exchange from Boston, and Siphon with all the time in the world to pick his corner and just shoot it. Let it fly.
Sorry. Yeah, I 100% agree. I was taking a sip of water. Calgary taking the lead here. It felt like this game could be very high scoring, but both goalies have been very, very good. But it is Zombie Magikarp who cracks first. But not a whole lot he could do on that shot. That is a wide open shot from the blue line. But Whitepex, a nice pass. JP looks for a shot and he sends it off the far post. And a tough night for JP continues. As I think he's rung that away post in this rink at least 4 times tonight. So a rough go about it for the Calgary
I think
first
the
line
total
winger.
tally is 42 on the season, if I'm corrected.
I said that these posts are going to need a new paint job, combining with Whitepex and Jalen Pitre on the first line, and that stays true tonight. As Whitepex centers it for JP again, but he cannot get the shot off. Whitepex, a pullback. He's looking to keep. He looks to keep dominating puck possession against this Boston first line. As fake Mr. Flimflam will finally clear. Jalen Pitre leaves off for quick TFA and a couple line changes coming out for both sides. Glenn back onto the ice. A pass up to Siffin from quick TFA. He battles with Snowflake. Siffin, a couple of pullbacks, looks for a shot, but nothing doing there. And now a poke in the back by Glenny Boo. But no call from the referee. As Snowflake dumps it up the boards. He's trying to get it up to Glenny Boo, but nothing doing there for Boston. But now a nice pullback from Snowflake. He's up for Glenny Boo. Glenny Boo may be looking for a shot, but Quick TFA shuts it down for the moment, and the cross pass to Youppi from Glenn gets shut down by Siffin. Now Youppi looks to cross it for a wide open Glenny Boo, but 3 Calgary defenders convene to stop that opportunity. And now Siffin looking to center it once again, but not able to do so. 16 seconds to go here in the second period. Siffin, a pullback. Siffin, a shot, and he scores! Siffin puts his second one in the net to put the Calgary Wings up 2-0 here at home.
Great forechecking from Siffin there to get control of the puck in the offensive zone, and then finding an unsuspecting shot that Zombie Magikarp is not ready to save. And all of a sudden, Calgary have doubled their lead going into the end of the second period. Woo.
And the last game for the Calgary Wings, where Siffin put in 2 goals, the next goal scored was a own goal from Siffin. So hopefully history does not repeat itself here for Siffin's sake.
Siffin will be scoring an own goal in about 5 seconds.
And Boston will be coming back to win. That is what the script says. I'm reading it right now. Glenny Boo here with under 10 seconds to go.
Line.
Oh, did it? Did I get an outdated copy? Zulu looks for an opportunity at the end of the period, but nothing cooking there. And after 2, Calgary up 2. So we'll send it back up to the desk with JR the Goof and AllahFresco. And myself, I guess. As we'll wait for JR Goof to catch the escalator up here. But we'll get started here.
Sorry, guys. I can't really... team join. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, guys. I can't really walk. Hi.
JR Goof, also the first desk host without an ACL in BHL history. So take it away, JR Goof.
I don't believe that. Can someone get a fact check on this?
AllahFresco would know. AllahFresco, is this true?
Probably unlikely. I think somebody else might. I don't know. Desk is a new thing, so maybe. Definitely the first desk host with a torn ACL and meniscus. That's for sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well,
And
let's
that's
talk
also
about the
named
game now.
JR Goof. Sorry.
Calgary, 2 goals that period from Siffin. AllahFresco, what did you see from Siffin that period that was so magical?
You know, he's clearly got some heart and some I guess revenge in his game tonight, as he's playing pretty spiteful against his former team that you know, didn't want to retain his services. I know there was a mutual parting, but and there's no hate, but you know, just trying to stir the pot a little bit. He's played really well against this second line, and you know, Glenny Boo looks really good in the Seattle game as well, scoring a hat trick. So credit to Siffin for potting 2 goals. The first one was just a massive miscommunication on the penalty kill, but the second one was very nice, and he kind of just shot that one through the whole team.
Yeah, and Golden Hunter.
Yo,
What'd you have for dinner today?
I didn't have dinner yet, but I'm getting pizza after
Ooh.
this.
That sounds good. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm hungry.
Dude, I actually might order a pizza now. That sounds like
Was that a good shout?
that was a good shout.
Thank you, thank you. I'm gonna get the. Well, there's this place on my campus that does like individual slices, and they have these like vodka slices, like, and they're pretty
Ooh,
good. So I'm gonna get 2 of those.
Can I have one?
interesting.
Yeah, you can have one. I'll get 3 then.
Okay, thank you.
But we'll get started back here in the third period. Enough talk of dinner. And it will be Lids playing defense on the first line now with Youppi, and fake Mr. Flimflam lines up at winger. They only... so I guess Sox will drop down to second line winger for Boston. But I guess fake Mr. Flimflam, who had a fair bit of troubles containing Wapex, says Wapex, a great pass over for Jalen Petre, who again cannot pot one. But as I was saying, fake Mr. Flimflam having a little bit of issues with Wapex, as most people do, but he gets pushed over to winger, maybe for a more of a scoring boost. But who can say? As there's a opportunity from Wapex back towards the middle, but it gets swatted away. As Lids up for fake Mr. Flimflam. Fake looks for a shot. Youppi off the rebound, and Orange Panda slides right into it to shut it down. A great save for OP as he logs his 10th of the evening. As now
Orange
fake
panda,
Mr.
everybody.
Flimflam.
He's orange and he's a panda.
And his account was made in 2017.
Oh my!
As
Oh!
Quick DFA scores! What? Zombie Magikarp just lags out, but Quick DFA pots it into the net, and Calgary takes a 3-0 lead. And I mean, honestly, not a lot of analysis that could be done. Is a timeout taken by Boston, as they're still waiting for their goalie to relog onto the game, as he crashed, which resulted in Quake TFA putting the Calgary Wings up by 3. I believe It's Cly is ready to go at a moment's notice if they need it. At least that's what I'm reading in chat here. But they'll wait for Zombie Magikarp to log back onto the game. But Jared Goof, Orange Panda, he's looked fantastic so far today. And he's performing on the biggest stage so far.
One of the better goalies in the league.
And
Really great player.
Boston doesn't really know who should be out there, but it will be Youppi and Glenny Boo against the normal Calgary first line. Now Glenn will go off for a quick change. It'll be AllahFresco, our very own AllahFresco, jumping into the crease for the Boston Grizzlies.
Oh my god, we've lost AllahFresco! A second goalie has hit the Boston net!
I didn't even realize it until I looked at it, but our very own AllahFresco drops the mic and shoots up to go save the Boston Grizzlies. The E-Bug came from the stands, and now Youppi sent it towards the slot for fake Mr. Flimflam. But nothing doing there, and now It's Clyde shows up, but it's too late for him to sub in. Boston needing a stoppage to put him in. Now Youppi out for Lids.
AllahFresco makes a save, I will lose my marbles.
Lids looking for an opportunity, but nothing doing there. Now Lids up for Youppi. Youppi, the step on Zulu. Youppi looks for a shot, but it gets saved by Orange Panda. The rebound, and he scores! An instant effect by AllahFresco as Boston goes up, or Boston does not go up, but they start digging into this lead as it's 3-1 now. And an instant impact JR Goof from the big AllahFresco. Our very own AllahFresco, BSN's very own AllahFresco.
AllahFresco is a +1.
A great opportunity from Youppi to pot home a goal and a step in the right
He was in
direction.
for
So
now.
they still trail by 2.
He's not even in the VC. He's still in the stage.
Yes, he is still on the stage.
He's in the stage.
AllahFresco from the booth to the crease as Siffin looks to send a slot to across to Tindor. But nothing doing there as Boston shuts that down. And the Grizzlies still have 3 minutes to go, but it feels like they could really use that second goal, J.R. Goof, soon if they want a chance to come back into this game. As Quake up for Siffin. Siffin guarded by Snowflake. Siffin sends it towards the slot. Sox almost own goals, but AllahFresco reads it well and saves that opportunity. Now Snowflake up for Glenn. Glenn looks to center it towards the middle, but he gets shut down once again. As now Quake TFA battles with Glennyboo. Quake wins it away. Quake still with possession of the puck as no one was up to receive a pass. And now he turns it over to Glennyboo. Glenn looking to slot it, but he turns it over to Tindor. Now Tindor loses it in the ref circle to Snowflake, who sends it up to Glenn. A bit of back and forth here from both of these teams. So there's now 2:19 left here to go in this game. Quake, a couple pullbacks to leave off for Whitepex as some line changes happen. Is now Whitepex onto the ice against Youppi. Youppi steals it. Youppi off the post. Youppi taps it in. It's a 1-goal game. Fresh off the bench, Youppi pots his second, and Boston's right back in it.
Well, Youppi taking over this game. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game now. Boston's still leading the shots. Great effort from Youppi to...
Yeah, that was a good opportunity that Youppi did. And he scored by. And Zombie Magikarp is back in net, J.R. Goof. And our very own AllahFresco hops on to the ice and into the crease. Doesn't register a shot against, but a +2. And immediately, Zombie Magikarp takes a save. It's the aura from AllahFresco, J.R. Goof. CGY couldn't even think about registering a shot on AllahFresco. But it is a 3-2 game, 2 minutes to go. This is well within winnable for the Boston Grizzlies. As 2 minutes ago, or 3 minutes ago almost, they were down and out, down by 3. Their goalie just crashed. Zombie Magikarp disconnecting from the game. Quick TFA potting home the third. And now it's 3-2. And Jalen Pitre looks for an opportunity, but Lids shuts him down. Zulu crosses it for Whitepex, but Whitepex, a more defensive player, takes the back seat as he's trying to help maintain this 1-goal lead. There's going to be 1 minute and 12 seconds left to go as these first lines start running down on Stam, so we'll see a change very soon here. As Calgary still in the lead. Lids looks to send it up for Youppi. But Jalen Pitre doing a good job just dumping it back into the zone. 50 seconds to go. Whitepex with Glennyboo, the two former defenseman duos, now both playing center this season. As there's a slot pass to Youppi that gets swatted away. Whitepex and Glennyboo won a cup together here in Calgary in season 24. Two of the superstars of that team as Youppi looks for a shot of his own out of the corner, but Orange Panda gloves it down. And there's 20 seconds to go here. Youppi towards the slot. Orange Panda, he does that normally. He clears it out with a 5-hole. He's one of the more active goalies in the league. And he does so there to great effect as there's 10 seconds to go. Youppi just sends it towards the net. It gets swatted away once again. Quake has it behind his own net. He'll just clear. Snowflake trying anything at the last moment, but CGY survives the comeback attempt to take this game 3-2. They go 2-0 on the day as they knock off the Grizzlies as they continue to battle for the top spot in the league and in the North. They do have that music in them as they knock off the defending champs here in this regular season matchup. But that'll do it for us for BSN here today. We saw a lot of great moments, even our very own AllahFresco hopping into net, which is always just a wonderful time. I've been Golden Hunter, joined with me by JR Goof and AllahFresco and Box at one point, and Jail, our referee. But I'll do it for us here tonight. Back in action on Wednesday for the start of next week.